Shri Swaminarayan Bhagavanani Jai, Akshar Purushottam Maharajani Jai, Gunaditanand Swami Maharajani Jai, Guru Hari Pramukh Swami Maharajani Jai, Guru Hari Mahant Swami Maharajani Jai, Pramukh Swami Maharaj Shatabdi Mahotsavni Jai, Akshardham Mahotsavni Jai. Jai Saran, everybody. I've been asked to share some memories of the 1988 Dharma Yatra of Pramukh Swami Maharaj. But before I delve into that, today is the 12th of April, and exactly 39 years ago, on this very day, Pramukh Swami Maharaj, he initiated 207 sadhaks and parshads. It was a record-breaking event in BAPS Sanstha's history and a very memorable occasion commemorating the bicentenary celebrations of Bhagwan Swaminarayan. And it was a day of joy, a day of jubilation, and Bapa himself was ever so joyed. And it's on this day that the likes of Pujya Vivek Sagar Swami, he was given Bhagavati Diksha, and the younger sadhus like Brahma Vihari Swami, Akshar Vatsal Swami, and today in North America, Pujya Yagnavallabh Swami, Pujya Yogendra Das Swami, Pujya Vivek Nidhi Swami, Pujya Sant Purush Swami, and of course myself, we were all given Diksha on this very day. So I'd like you to join me just to see one of those memorable photographs of Pramukh Swami Maharaj on the day of our Diksha. It's a photograph that many people have seen before, and many have asked that, why was Swami's eyes full of tears? It's just jubilation. It was something as an offering of devotion that he could fulfill Yogiji Maharaj's sankalp of initiating these young sadhus. So as you can see on the screen, that is Pramukh Swami Maharaj doing the mantra Pushpanjali during the initiation ceremony. So now, the 1988 Yatra. Pramukh Swami Maharaj had been very, very compassionate, and it was his grace alone that we were selected to join him on this Yatra. And it's not often that you get this opportunity, and I was very lucky to have that chance to travel with him. And again, next week we will see the 1991 Yatra, in which again I had the opportunity to join him. What actually happened when he told us that we were joining him for the Yatra is that there was this puzzling moment that we weren't sure what we had to prepare in order to be with him. Because we had heard so many prasangs in satsang where Bapa himself had scolded, or he had been very hard on the Sevak Santos, even for spilling a drop of dal. So the back of our minds was telling us that it could be quite strict, he could be harsh on us. What's going to happen? Didn't know exactly what to prepare and how to prepare. So in Bombay, Premadan Swami and I, we were there for a recording. Swami Shri was there as well. And he read my mind and he called me over. He asked me, he goes, do you want to ask anything? So I said, yes, Swami. I said that, coming with you is a pleasure. It's a great opportunity. But what do you want me to prepare? And Swami Shri said this very, very comforting line. At that moment, it wasn't very evident what he meant by it, but he said it in Gujarati, ke Satpurushma Jeev Jodai, tevi tayari karvi. That prepare in a way that you can attach yourself to the Satpurush. Little did I know that on this Yatra, Swami Shri would be gracing us, blessing us in abundance with memories of a lifetime, memories that would change the perspective with which I myself personally was looking at Bapa with, and it became a very strong bond, a very strong relationship with Swami Shri. So the 1988 Yatra, It was titled Pramukhni Pānkhmā Anantni Khepe. It actually means that journey to the infinite means to God, whilst sitting in the wings of Pramukh Swami Maharaj, meaning with Pramukh Swami Maharaj. So journey to God with Pramukh Swami Maharaj. It started on the 7th of April, 1988, and ended on the 13th of January, 1989. And that's approximately 290 days of being with Swami Shri. And these memories were covered over 21 countries. And one thing to note as well, because you will find Swami Shri in a very young age. At that time, he was 67. But 5 years prior to that, he had a heart attack. But you could see that in his travels, nothing could stop him in dispensing the best of bliss to everybody. So the first photograph you see here of Pramukh Swami Maharaj is seated here in Fatima. Now, Fatima is a pilgrim place of the Roman Catholics in just close to Lisbon. And Swami Shri had come there. And what had happened actually was Thakurji was taken around the complex. And then the chaplain, John Villanova, he asked Bapa that, would you kindly write in my visitor's book? So Swami Shri accepted his request, and whilst he ran over to his office to get the visitor's book, Swami Shri, he sat on these stairs. He asked the Sevak Santos to hold Thakurji and, let everybody see him. And he also did a prayer that all those till date who have come here, those who currently are coming to this pilgrim place, and in the future, those who do come, may Maharaj grace them with kalyan. So you see the large-heartedness of Bapa. He accepts the great offers of prayers, of pilgrimage, of sacrifice that people of different denominations, they do. It's a nice way he's sitting there, very casual. And then the chaplain, he came with the book and he gave it to Swami Shri. Swami Shri, again, you see him seated in a very unusual position on a step with his legs crossed onto the next step. And then he wrote in Gujarati. And there was one thing that was quite startling in which he wrote that Bhagwan Swaminarayan incarnated on this earth 200 years ago. And Huemno Panchmo Anugamishu, that I'm the fifth successor of Bhagwan Swaminarayan. So a nice subtle way of revealing his divine self in writing in this book. This is Swami Shri at Mount Santis in the Swiss Alps. And Swami Shri was quite eager. It's the first time he's gone into the midst of snow. And all along from the journey from his Uttaro to the mountain, he was looking at the Alps coming closer. You wouldn't really know what he's thinking about. But once we parked the car, Swami Shri disembarked very quickly on his own. And then he went to this wall of snow and started to pluck with his hands. And he made a snowball. And then he started throwing the ball at different people, the different sadhus that were there, like Bhagavad Charan Swami, Acharya Swami. And he was having fun. Santos were throwing snowballs back at him. So that was quite unique to see him do that. And thereafter, he was asked to stand on the snow itself. And Swami, he adhered to the wish that a photograph be taken, but you can see that he's shivering. He was feeling very cold, and then he asked for this blanket. And then he was given this blanket, and he wrapped himself around. And then the next thing that happened was that Bapa, he asked for his bag to be removed, that he can wear the blanket in this way, like an old granddad, very cuddly, very cute. Many of you have seen these photographs before, but maybe not know the stories behind them. But Swami, he stood there, wrapped up like this, looking absolutely beautiful. This is a photograph you may have seen as well. He's actually looking at a cable car that's coming down to the base. And It's a 100-seater cable car. It's massive. It's just got windows throughout. So you can see beneath, you can see the sides from all directions. All you see is snow and the mountains. And Swami Shri, particularly, he kept looking there. And then he said that these Europeans are very smart and very intelligent, that even in the midst of this huge mountainous range, they can create something so well, so beautiful. The cable car, the pillars, the wiring, the machinery, they could bring up thousands and thousands of feet, because this mountain where Swami Shri is standing is about 5,000 feet above sea level. So he could appreciate the good that people have done on this earth. This photograph is of Bapa again. This is at the top. After viewing the scenery, doing a prarthana at the top of the mountain, and then we were about to come back down. So we were waiting in the lounge for the cable car to come up, and Swami Shri was sitting there, and he asked for Thakurji to be seated next to him, and beside him was Vivek Sagar Swami. And then Swami Shri, on his own accord, he started to do dhun. Not knowing why he was doing it, then the sevaks asked him, "Ke Bapa, a dhun shena mate kari?" And Swami Shri said that there's scarcity of rain in Gujarat. People are suffering in the drought and the famine. So I've made a prayer to Maharaj that may the rains fall in Gujarat and bring peace and happiness and joy to the people. So that prasang happened again, Mount Santis. This is at the waiting lounge for the cable car. After our Europe tour, we were coming back to London. Now this is Pramukh Swami Maharaj at London Mandir. This is the mandir which was prior to the Shikharbad Mandir. And it was Yogi Jayanti Tithi, the day. And on our plane journey from Dusseldorf to London, this is the 15th of May, Pramukh Swami Maharaj, he called Yogi Charan Swami and he asked him that is it possible for the sadhus to do a Kirtan Bhakti today because it's Yogi Bapa's birthday. And Yogi Ji Maharaj, he loved Kirtan Bhakti. Yogi Charan Swami readily agreed. He told the sadhus, we started to make a list of bhajans, and we assigned the bhajans. We showed Pramukh Swami the list. And Yogi Charan Swami also asked Bapa on behalf of the younger sadhus that Swami Nana Santoni Chashe, ke tame pan bhajan gao. So Swami Shri, he agreed that he would sing as well. Now, this is the evening Kirtan Bhakti Sabha on the stage, a very decorative hindoro. Swami Shri is enjoying the Kirtan Bhakti by the sadhus, so engrossed and so happy. CM Dada would, make him laugh, and Hari Bhaktas would interact with him, and Swami Shri in between, he would give this special smruti. But as I mentioned earlier, he had said that he would sing. Yogi Charan Swami had convinced him that, Bapa, you have to sit on the hindora and sing. And Swami Shri at that time, he said yes. But when his time came to sing, he decided to come onto the floor. And he was very adamant, and he would not heed to Yogi Charan Swami's request. And at that time, Swami Shri said to Yogi Charan Swami, ke santo sathe besiye, to bau maja ave. Apne bada bhega hoiye, to vadhare anand ave. Subtle messages of Samp, that being together, there's more joy. Sitting together is more happiness. And being with the santos, that's what he really loves. And here, Swami Shri is engrossed in singing Yogi Avate Rangamane Shida Lagadyo. He did a small katha prior to this, and then he sang this very wonderful bhajan, very, very engrossed. Here you see him. You can see the ecstasy that he can bring to the crowds and to the sadhus with him. And he really, really, really enjoyed every moment. And from this, playing the kartals, you can see how he himself, in the young age as Shantilal in the mandirs in Charnsad, used to join the bhajan mandali and play kartal, and that's just a memory of those times. One prasang which I'd like to bring to your attention, I don't have the photograph, but at the end of this, Swami Shri was garlanded and he was given a shawl of flowers. And then CM Dada, as if Bapa could not see, right from the back, he walked with a crown, means with a mugat made of flowers, and to place it on Bapa's head. And Swami Shri very swiftly, and he knows everything, the movements that people make, he can tell. And even without looking at the back, he just threw his hand across and he put the mugat out of CM Dada's hands. CM Dada picked it up, he tried to put it back on Bapa. Swami was so reluctant, and he refused very, very strongly. At night, CM Dada, he told Bapa that, Bapa, look, you should have worn it. Swami Shri said, Ke apna thya shobhe nahi, and apne sadhu che, sadhu ne sadhu saru. Means that we are sadhus, this doesn't suit us, and we should be simple. And then Swami Shri said that if you start here, and if I allow you to do it, then everywhere else I go, they will come with these mugats of flowers. So Swami Shri goes that, what you've done by not placing it on my head is a great service, and Yogi Bapa is very, very happy on you. So that's a smriti of that day too. After Swami Shri completed his first leg of Europe, he came to America, and then Swami Shri, he came to the West Indies. And this is on the 27th of June. Swami Shri, at 4 o'clock, he woke up, and then he was about to go for a bath, but he walked to the window, he opened the curtain, he looked out, and he saw that it was raining. And then he expressed his wish to the Sevak Sant that let's go and bathe in the rain. And hence Swami Shri then, he came out, and immediately where there's this greater fall of water from the roof, he stood underneath and he started doing dhun, again for the rains to fall in Gujarat, to pacify the minds of people in the famine and drought-stricken areas. Swami Shri, he did this dhun. And then Swami Shri, he started to enjoy the rain bathing. And then at that time, he asked Vivek Sagar Swami, because he didn't see all the sadhus there. So he asked him that, go and round up the rest of the Swamis. And then Vivek Sagar Swami came into the house and he called all the sadhus. And then once everybody was there, Swami Shri, he is, throwing water at the sadhus. And it's not just throwing and having fun and, allowing the sadhus to have a smriti, but Swami Shri even prayed for the santos. Swami Shri said, "Ke tame badha ekantik jaldi thei jao, mota thei jao, adarsh thei jao." So become ekantik, become great, become ideal role models, great sadhus. So in everything and anything he did, wherever he went, there was a message. Though there was fun, there was joy, there was bliss and happiness, but he would also have this inner prayer for each and every person. 2 days later, on the 29th of June, Swami Shri was taken to Maracas Bay again. This is the West Indies. And he was taken into the ocean. And Bapa, you can see in his left hand, he's holding Hare Krishna Maharaj. And you'd be surprised that he spent 45 minutes in this seawater, bathing Thakurji. And he dipped Thakurji fully, immersed him into the seawater no less than 35 times. But every time, every second he spent, he would constantly chant Swaminarayan, 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 Swaminarayan. Even his santos were like talking to him, he would not talk back and he would just continue chanting the mantra. Little did we know why he was doing this, though there were times that Swami Shri was saying, Maharaj now, Swami now, Panso Paramhanso now, Shastri Maharaj now, Yogiji Maharaj now. He would continuously say that, but then straight back into chanting the Swaminarayan mantra. So once he was out of this bathing area, Swami Shri, he looked towards the sea and he said that I've never seen such crystal clear water, sea water ever before. And it's a very nice place. So once he dried himself and put on his dhotyu ghataryu, Yogacharan Swami, he asked Bapa to stand under this palm tree for a photo shoot. And as you can see, aptly, very nice scenery, clear skies, and the ocean is blue and the sand is clean, and Swami Shri himself looks ever so smart and very, very good. And the photographs were all taken. And then surprisingly, on his own accord, Swami Shri started to walk towards the sea. And he walked right to the edge. Little did we know that why he was going. And so we all darted there to him and just to be with him. But Swami immediately, he raised his hands into the skies. And he started praying, okay, Maharaj, fill these clouds with water and take all these clouds to Gujarat. It was very emotional. We were there standing, listening to him. But for a few minutes, his heart was raised along with his hands into the skies. And just one single prayer that the rains, they fall in Gujarat and it brings happiness to them. So even in this yatra, wherever Bapa went, his mind was always with the people suffering back in Gujarat. And you can see here, again, this is a very great photograph which many of you may have seen before. This is Pramukh Swami Maharaj at Vrajbhumi, Pennsylvania. There was a Balika Shivir, and the organizers had arranged for Bapa and the barracks to have a personal photograph for their smruti taken by this lake. So he sat on this very simple bench where the Santos had placed their sleeping bag. Thakurji was kept on his left side. And after the barracks, his photographs were done, the sadhus were also given a chance of a photograph each. But we requested Bapa to wear these chakris. The footwear you can see are made of wood. And Swami Shri, he said to us, a very honest person, a very, very sincere heart. Swami કે હું કોઈ દિવસ ચાકડી પહેરતો નથી તો દંભ શું કરવા કરું કોઈને બતાવવા માટે કેમ કરું Because why should I wear something which I don't actually wear? Why should you, show off? Why do something that you don't actually do? So again, a great teaching for us, not to be hypocritical, not to be a show-off. Be your genuine self and be yourself always. So this is a smriti with which I'm sure many of you yuvaks watching were there at Vrajbhumi in Pennsylvania. When Swami Shri was in Los Angeles, he went to Catalina Islands with the Haribhaktas on a picnic. This is a photograph on returning from the island in the evening. And Swami Shri, he did a very mesmerizing katha. It wasn't audible to everybody, but you can see that the santos are, leaning inwards, and some of the Haribhaktas from the back are trying to hear him as well. And Swami said some very great things about himself, very subtly. And one of the things that really touched us all, because we were told to sing Lagni Lagi Re Mare Lagni Lagi, which is a gori. And he remembered that. And at that time during his katha, Swami Shri, he spoke to CM Dada, who's sitting on the far right. You can just see his head from the back, opposite K.C. Kaka. So Swami Shri had told CM, CM, આ બધા સંતોને મનાઈ ગયું છે કે આ પૃથ્વીમાં સુખ નથી, અનંત કોટી બ્રહ્માંડમાં જે સુખ નથી, એ આ મૂર્તિની અંદર સુખ છે. Meaning that there is infinite bliss and happiness in the murti seated here right now than in the infinite universes. And then Swami Shri went on to say કે અક્ષરધામની મૂર્તિ અને આ મૂર્તિમાં રોમનો ફેર નથી. That the murti seated in Akshardham, where me and you all have to go eventually, and the murti here in human form, there's not an iota of difference between them. Again, Swamima, revelation of who he really is. And then Swami at the end said, ke, e murti madi che, to lagni lagadi devi, that you found God, now attach yourself with him. So again, a great smriti. And thereafter, it was getting cold, so Swami was given a shawl to wear, a shawl. Instead, he covered his head because, again, the wind was going to his ears. And then Yogi Charan Swami, he put this topi in this way on top of him. Again, a very, very unique photograph. Actually, a few days later, Yogi Charan Swami, he showed Bapa a handful of photographs in which he had a wish, Yogi Charan Swami had a wish, that the sadhus in India could also have a smruti of Bapa. And there were very, very nice photographs of Bapa, portraits, and there was this one as well. And Swami chose this. And Swami ka sari che, and he used the word, so I get unique che. And it's true, we've never seen him like this, and again a great smriti at Catalina Islands. Swami Shri came to Houston for the Pratishta, and on the 18th of August, that's 2 days before the Pratishta, Bapa had joined the procession, the Nagar Yatra, and he came onto the float where Akshar Purushottam Maharaj Murtis were placed. And once he was on the float, he was given this dabbi, means a little jar of kanku, which he was supposed to do pujan of the Akshar Purushottam Murtis. Swami Shri immediately, he did pujan of Hare Krishna Maharaj. Then he did the pujan of the Akshar Purushottam Murtis. And then he saw this whole bunch of balloons. And he goes to me, Ke, Aane karu? Can I do pujan to these balloons? And it was just out of the blue. You would never expect, him trying to say something like this. And he walked himself right to the balloons. And you can see here on the yellow balloon, and there were others as well. And he did these chanlas to these balloons. And every chanlo he did, he goes, le bhai, le tane karu, le bhai. As if, he's doing it to Hari Bhaktas. There was so much of emotion, devotion. And to me and you, it may seem very hilarious that why would he want to do pujan to balloons? But it was a smriti beyond belief. And then you can see him here. He's cutting the whole bunch of strings so that all these balloons can be hoisted into the sky. And whilst the balloons are released, he looked up and then he said, Swami ke apadu jivan pan au rang berangi banavu, that we should make our lives just as colorful as these balloons. And ek kevi rite bane, how can we make it so? Swami Shri said, ke apne bhajan, bhakti, katha, varta, seva, samsurat bhav ekta. He started saying this, and then he ended with saying, ke kyare pan koino abhav nahi, koino auguna nahi, to apadu jivan pan au rang berangi bane. That if we have all these attributes and virtues in our lives, and we never see bad of anybody, speak bad, or even think bad of anybody, then our lives will become as colorful as these balloons. So a great smriti in Houston. This is Pramukh Swami Maharaj at Johannesburg Rand Airport. The local Hari Bhaktas had arranged for Bapa to be taken on this helicopter. And you can see the Woolworth bag beside his feet. And there was bunches of flower petals which were kept in there. And Swami Shri was asked to sprinkle them out of the window once they were airborne on the golden city of Johannesburg. And then once they came down, everybody disembarked from the helicopter, Yogi Charan Swami, Vivek Sagar Swami, the Sevak Santos, etc. And then Swami Shri, he stayed seated in the helicopter, and he started to talk to the pilot. His name was Captain Davis. And he had Thakurji in his hands, and he was showing him something. From afar, we were all looking and wonderstruck that the guy is English, he's South African, and he doesn't understand a word of Gujarati, and Swami Shri's got minimal English background. And what is Pramukh Swami Maharaj talking to him about? And once that was all finished, and Swami Shri was then disembarking from the helicopter, Dharma Vatsal Swami asked him, Baba, tame shu vaat kari? What were you talking to the pilot about? And Swami, with so much pride, asmita, kef, Swami Shri bolya, Swami ke maine samjhai didu, ke this is God, Lord Swaminarayan, and He is blessing you, okay? And he said it with so much of confidence that we were all so happy. And, you feel that he really doesn't need any one of us, and he can do anything and everything on his own, but he gives us the opportunity. But he doesn't miss a chance. Even to that pilot, Swami Shri explained the glory and greatness of Hare Krishna Maharaj to him, because that's his first love, and that's his only love. And here you can see Swami Shri, having dispensed immense love, given us great sukh in the 1988 Yatra. So, as you see, special moments that Bapa shared with us, which became life-changing, very divine moments, very joyous moments, very, very pleasing moments. And even today, when we look around and we come across any videos of the yatra or any photographs, or even if people, they narrate their experiences during that yatra, we are shifted back to that time, and Pramukh Swami Maharaj is always present through this great tool of Smruti, and we would like to thank him for being so kind and generous in allowing us to be with him in this yatra. And at the same time, I would like to thank Puja Yogicharan Swami, who, in fact, he shared these photographs with me either during the travels or a year later or 2 years later. If it wasn't for him, then I'm sure some of these memories wouldn't be with me in the form of photographs, and I would just be narrating them. So thanks to him, and thank you all for being with me today on this journey to the infinite. Shri Swaminarayan Bhagwan Ni Jai.